I'd ordered some pig's ass to clean the old pallet with, but it seems possum's on the menu, and I'm looking for a way out.
So it's not necessarily traditional Ngapuhi, is it?
Yeah, this last 30 years it has been.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
People should take to this because we've got a depression coming.
Sold on it.
To your taste.
I'm not tasting any of it, man. I love you on that, but I'm not eating the possum, eh?
Could be an insult to Ngapuhi if it doesn't
No,
taste.
it'd be an insult to me if you force me to. See? Ah, bomb. Bomb. No, I'm too sure of the old Pākehā traditions there. Is it feasible to say that you know, you say if we broke up New Zealand and put it and separate it into, gave it all back to Māori, and then everyone had certain parts of it, then what would Europeans do? Go back to Europe? Not going to happen.
No. It wouldn't happen like that. Not saying we're going to kick about rubbish. That's what the government...
But what are Māori saying?
Māori are saying the land you have confiscated, government, give it back. And then after you give it back, I want compensation for the resources that was taken off.
And then after that?
Yeah, we're partners again.
Well, no, you're not, because the Europeans haven't got any land.
No. They'll never own this, right?
Yeah.
But the building that's on it, they formed a company or corporation, that's what they own.
Whatever they build, whatever they create's theirs.
Yeah, commerce, it's all in commerce.
But the land will always be Māori land.
It's like digging for gold. You get a signature from the rangatira before you dig.
So you ask them for permission the same way that you'd ask Doc for permission at the moment?
No, I wouldn't ask Doc for permission because I am the tangata whenua. I don't need it. They ask me for permission.
What happens with you? What do you do then?
It's like being a meat in a sandwich.
He's the kaiteki in there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, right.
And the fellas work above them or around them. This is tonotonos.
Right.
Simple as that. Flunkies in English.
Flunkies.
Yeah.
Tonotonos. You can get a good meal out of that possum, ain't you?
I'm trying to make you hungry. Keep watching.
No, you're doing a good job making me unhungry. This is our roadkill one.
It's our roadkill one.
Yeah.
Doc and Māori can often be at odds, but if there's one thing that can unite the modern face of Doc with a traditional kaitiaki dad, it's prepping an introduced pest, the bait.
I'm going to call it Norbert.
Norbert. Yeah, Norbert.
Just another day rolling with the Ngapuhi.
Rolling with the Ngapuhi.
What would you say to a European or Pākehā person who wanted to get to know the bush and the country where he lives and to experience the things that you've experienced and to learn that sort of stuff? I mean,
I think don't ask. You know, just get out there and do it. Get out there and have a look around.
you have to ask, though.
Well,
Do you?
you don't have to ask. I mean, there's a lot of national parks, a lot of reserves, conservation areas that you don't... At the moment, yep. At the moment, you just go and ask. I'd hate to think that someone takes over something and locks it up. I mean, that would just be...
That's what a lot of Pākehā think, though. A lot of Pākehā think that's going to be the case.
I don't think it's going to happen. It's got to remain open so that people appreciate, appreciate the place, appreciate New Zealand.
You seem a lot different to your dad as far as thinking forward and you know, Māori Pākehā relations.
Yep, and that's a generational thing, I think. Oh, absolutely. New Zealand was an interesting time during the 60s. I mean, you would have got strapped at school for speaking Māori, and now they're teaching te reo, you know. It's kind of confusing for their generation, maybe.
Yeah, totally.
Get whacked there, and now...
Oh.
And
True night, he's got the bait, he's got the bait, he's got the bait.
Go.
Yeah, pull him, Mike! Oh, Mikey just about had him.
Meta isn't only a different generation from his dad.
We know each other well. Good to see you, Meta.
Before it became trendy, he was a national supporter, and it was his job to usher on Don Brash into Waitangi after the infamous One People, One Nation Orewa speech.
Mainstream.
Today, Ngapuhi soil nourishes Brash Jr.
Dr. Brash planted a tree here. Do you think he would ever have thought that the old Havo, bomb, would be planting a kauri tree next to his
karaka tree.
karaka tree?
Yep, Mr. Brash. You're already beating Don Brash.
Out of the pot now. Ready for your new home?
So is it kind of your roots getting stuck into Ngapuhi? You could be Ngapuhi now?
It could be.
Could be.
You know,
Part of the hapu?
I daren't say that. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be something that you'd have to say. You know?
This goes with the tree as well, Mike. So
Really?
Don left something here quite sacred, quite nice, and he said to give it to someone special
Oh.
that might come and visit this place.
That
So
is mean. Are you ready?
I'll see if I can take the dirt that had got in Waitangi, eh?
Okay.
Ready?
Yep, go.
Ready? Right, go.
Next, our brown colonials.
What we actually did was we brought their women home, crossbred to keep our army and our population up.
Yeah, sweet as. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having
That's
us.
my rangatira.
I'm with Emma and her husband Pete. Together they run an oyster farm in the Bay of Islands, Waikara Inlet.
Just jump in existence for Māori. We just went
A farm which used to employ and help feed 39 mostly Maori families. It's been shut down by the council for 2 years now.
This is where the oyster farmers lost their case. They couldn't pinpoint where the sewage came from, so it was a legal technicality. But we all are very, very certain that it came from the Kawakawa sewage scheme. Don't forget, this is a crown seabed, but the Maori people weren't consulted. They're supposed to return.
Again with that.
Yes.
So even though officially you've been shut down, you're
Yes.
still running the farm.
We're still running it because you can't let it go to wreck and ruin and leave the mess for other people to clean up. And me being a Māori, that's my obligation to look after our taonga.
Sure, sure.
So therefore we got a Pākehā husband and a Maori wife. Both have essentially the same values.
Right.
Welcome aboard our pontoon and
Thank
our
you very
whare.
much. Thanks for having me. So there they are, some good Bay of Islands oysters there.
I need to know, are you a married man? Oh, you better have some more.
It's the lack of constructive consultation and action by the council that's left locals like Emma broke and without a key resource.
Pete and I, no.
For her, the foreshore issue is about much more than just swimming on the beach.
At the end of the day, you know, with all the problems we're having with our oyster farms and the seabed issues, there are no winners in this except the judges and the blimmin' lawyers. They're the only ones that are winning. And of course, the council's using our rates money to employ them to boot us out. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to give this up because at the end of the day, they are exercising sovereignty over us for a $10 note. In our creative green spaces and our resources, relationships matter. That's what it's all about.
Oh,
I could tap your knee too, but your wife might be watching me.
so how long have you guys been married for?
Not long.
Not long.
No.
How long?
12 years, I suppose.
12 years.
12 years?
Yeah.
Oh, spring chickens.
Oh, yes.
With your own oyster farm? Hey, hey, hey.
Well, see, that's why we're still
I think
madly in
that's why
love.
she married me.
You know, when I met this Pākehā, before I met him, I used to come and steal oysters off his farm.
Really?
And then one night I thought, gee, what a nice-looking fella. I think I'll give him a shot. Then I told him I stole his oysters. And he's made me pay for it ever since, you know. Get the wet, shell the blummer things.
Would you consider Pete Ngapuhi?
Yes, where Pete and I are concerned, I ride the Maori ticket if it's going to empower my community. I ride the Pākehā ticket if it's going to empower the community. There's no race card being played up here, none whatsoever. We all muck in and do things together.
You think that's true of Ngapuhi?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Some people that I've met along the way have said to me, this is Māori's right to own this foreshore seabed. Give it back, it's ours, that's it. None of the sharing nonsense.
Well, I actually agree with it, except you tell me where our pure Maori is these days. We have all cultures in our blood. And that is why I say nobody should own this. I believe there should be a consortium with a majority of Maori people that are traditional thinkers, know their tikanga, the principles of what we are today, to ensure that everybody has a share in the responsibility of looking after it. There's very few pure areas left. And we do have a chance to save this. But we cannot let a non-traditional cultural person take ownership.
You need to keep fighting that council.
Yes, unfortunately, I have to.
Emma takes me through Russell, once our nation's capital and described as the hellhole of the South Pacific. It was chock-a-block once, full of drunks and prostitutes.
It's ironic, you know, they say fish specialty. I can see a lot of things happening there, smelt of fish.
The whole town was razed to the ground by Hone Heke.
So we're heading up to the flagpole that he cut down so famously so many times.
He's my great-grand-uncle.
What was he up to?
He was looking for justice.
What?
One of the first signatories of the treaty, Honeheke saw it as very much a promise of partnership, but just 5 years later, disenchanted with land theft, breaches of sovereignty, and the conduct of the settlers, he led an armed uprising against the Crown.
Sure. He was a good man, there was no trouble, apart from cutting down the flagpole and starting those wars.
No, he signed the treaty and he promoted it as well. He thought it was a good thing, given the education he got at the mission station of being a good Christian.
Sure. With Ngapuhi being the first to utilise the musket and steamroller down the country there, does that make them colonial in a way?
Yes.
Colonists?
It does, but in actual fact, we didn't go there to completely destroy other tribes. What we actually did was we brought their women home, crossbred to keep our army and our population up.
Yeah, sweet as.
It goes back to women again.
Yeah. It's a wee bit like colonising though, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But every human being colonises another. It's the land that they want under them that's the problems of today.
As well as taking the muskets downtown and doing a bit of damage and bringing home the chicks, there was a trade in heads. There was a trade. There was quite a mana exchange too when you took out one of the enemy. You know, a little bit of cannibalism here, a little bit of cannibalism there.
Absolutely, but you see the heads.
Fashion of the day.
Heads were treated as object d'art.
Sure.
And there was a lot of people all around the world didn't know anything about Maori, and it was very handy to take a head because the tattoos were on it, you see.
Yeah.
And they could show people all over the world what really exists in New Zealand. And it reached the stage that some of the tribes would get their slaves and tattoo them just to have their heads taken off and smoked. I've actually got a recipe at home on how to dry and smoke a head.
Have you?
Yes, I have. I won't give it to you in case you do it to me.
No. It's interesting you've kept it though.
Yes, I do have that recipe.
Just in case there's a really traditional thing happens. And...
You know, there's a lot of grievances against my people, and yet nobody can dictate whether our children marry each other.
Yep, and no musket will get in the way of that.
Yes, there's a lot of us nanas know how to use these things too.
Next week on Nanas with Guns.
Next, busting it out in the bush.